Hi everyone. The world's most pugnacious super saloon. Only maybe not quite so pugnacious as before. The Mercedes-AMG E63 has been upgraded and the idea, says Mercedes, is to offer enhanced everyday comfort. Good, since that's about the only real criticism we had of its mighty predecessor. That arrived 4 years ago in late 2016, bringing with it a twin-turbo 4.0-liter V8 mated to the best 4WD system. Not only was it very effective at getting its power down on difficult roads and conditions, it could also be very effective at not getting its power down if you disconnected the front drive shafts and locked it into drift mode. Not for the faint-hearted. Anyway, none of that has been touched. This is a midlife facelift for the E63, which means a bit of sculpting, but no fundamental changes. A chance for the engineers and designers to do some light, less consequential fettling. The engine is untouched, meaning you still have the choice of plain 567 bhp E63, or E63 S with 604 bhp, drift mode and other niceties. Performance is unchanged, with a 186 mph max and 0 to 62 in 3.4 seconds for the S that also returns 277 gram/km and 23.2 mpg. At the front you'll find a new splitter and even bigger frontal intakes, sweeping back towards front arches that are now 27 mm wider each side. They cloak wider track widths and bigger wider front tires, the most significant mechanical enhancement made. Inside there's an updated steering wheel complete with even more touch-sensitive controls, and an enhanced one-piece of glass, twin-screen layout for all instrumentation and infotainment. The click wheel has gone completely, in its place a neater, cleaner, larger touchpad. The outward enhancements have given the E63 a more rounded front end with a more pronounced grille that's presumably good for aero and cooling, but lends the E63 a slightly toothy face. The rear lights are new and nicely worked. What is it like on the road? This is an angrier, more purposeful super saloon. But the problem has always been that it was a car aimed too much at the driver, and not enough at the rest of the passengers on board. A broader spectrum of ability is what was needed, and now Mercedes-AMG claims to have delivered it. The suspension has been retuned, there are new bushings for the front axle to go with the wider track widths and tires and you can tell almost immediately. The steering still has the same slight springiness when you've got some lock on, gently pushing back at you, but the wheels now carve a cleaner line. There seems to be less roll, but also more suppleness in the springs, which is a neat trick to have pulled off. It feels well supported and accurate around corners, satisfying to drive even when you're just turning the wheel at modest speeds. At the rear there's a new subframe carrier for the rear suspension and altered damper hydraulics. However, taken overall, some of the harshness of the pre-facelift car has gone. The E63 is still tautly sprung and firm of ride, but some of the vibrations and commotion that were probably more unsettling for passengers than the ride firmness itself, have definitely been eased. There's a sense that it's gained some maturity. So it steers better than before, gives you more confidence in what's going on at the front. Just as much information comes back from the wheels, but it's been through a slight filter that improves it for passengers, without diminishing it for the driver. Which is still a deeply, ridiculously fast car. AMG may claim to have left the powertrain alone, and yes, it still delivers the same power figures through the same 9-speed multi-clutch gearbox, but in practice it also feels a little sharper in its actions. Gears appear to slip through more cleanly and deliberately than before, and the motor's torque characteristics and response seem brighter. It's not that it picks up quicker at lower speeds, but that the power comes in both more urgently and smoothly once you ramp into the power band. It remains a truly superb engine to use, still a V8 with a great baritone voice, masses of power and able to make mincemeat of whichever gear it's in. And this sense of involvement and excitement isn't just confined to the powertrain. This is an exciting car to drive in almost any situation. Take a quick glance inside. Attractive, isn't it? Sophisticated-looking steering wheel, lovely material blend, elegant, interesting design, lots of screen and carbon. Sets the tone for the car very well. Now try using it. Mercedes is by no means alone in trying to insert maximum functionality into its cars, but it is one of the worst offenders when it comes to complexity. Mostly this is confined to the screen menus, and once you've got those set up as you like you don't have to worry too much. But the new steering wheel is even more of a fiddle to operate than before. The only proper physical buttons on the steering wheel are the paddles for the gear shift, The lovely tactile metal rotary volume controller has been replaced with a slider bar that's more awkward to operate. These configurable mini-screens operate the dynamic systems, suspension, exhaust, traction, gears etc., and used to be cheap, flimsy and creak when pressed. Now they're more solid. Bravo! Thumb pads on the top bar control the left/right screens respectively. It's a good idea in that you don't need to use the touchpad on the center console, or reach and prod at the screens themselves, but there's still not a quick and easy way of getting around the increasingly deep and confusing menu system. And nor is the Hey Mercedes voice control system. The driving position is great. The seats, although almost hard, are very supportive, and there's more than enough space all round for people and kit. Updated E63 gains comfort, still mighty to drive. A win-win for the best super saloon of them all. The facelifted E63 does the job Mercedes needs it to do, deliver a bit more passenger comfort without removing any of the driver appeal. It still sounds great, goes hard and makes the driver feel like a small, giddy child every time they climb behind the steering wheel. But it now makes their passengers feel more relaxed too. It's not that the ride is much softer, it's that the vibration and harshness is better damped, making the car feel more grown up. Just be warned, the new steering wheel and complex infotainment is very much aimed at a younger generation. You'll get used to it. For us, the update reinforces the E63's position as the best super saloon and estate there is. The changes not only improve comfort, but add some dynamic polish that make it more invigorating and eager. Thanks for watching.